Embark on a fascinating journey through time as we explore the 10 most exciting archaeological discoveries in Egypt. From mysterious pyramids to majestic temples, each find reveals captivating chapters of ancient Egyptian civilization. Number 1. The Serapium of Alexandria. Temples played an extremely important role in the ancient world. No matter what civilization you refer to, you will always find temples dedicated to the gods. These temples were as imposing and majestic as the gods themselves who were worshipped in them. A prominent example of this is the Serapeum of Alexandria. This magnificent temple is a clear example of a place that transcends two worlds, since, as many of you probably know, Alexandria is located in Egypt, but the temple itself has its roots in Greek culture. That's because it was located in the city's Greek quarter. The Serapeum, an ancient temple, was a very popular destination for pilgrims and tourists from all over the world. It was widely known for its incredible healing powers, which attracted people from all over seeking relief from their ailments. In addition, the temple was famous for its rituals related to fertility, which led many couples to go there to pray and ask for the blessing of having children. These examples clearly demonstrate the enormous influence and power of the temples at that time. For many, they represented the hope of obtaining what they wanted and, at the same time, guaranteeing themselves a better life. Number 2. The Temples of Abu Simbel. Built by Ramses II in the 13th century BC, they are emblematic monuments of the ancient Egyptian civilization. Carved into the rock, they are dedicated to various gods and pharaohs, with impressive reliefs and statues that tell their story. They stand out for their astronomical alignment during the equinoxes, when the sun's rays penetrate the main sanctuary, creating a unique spectacle. In the 1960s, they were moved stone by stone to prevent flooding due to the construction of the Aswan Dam, a remarkable technical and archaeological achievement. Since then, they have been a world-renowned tourist attraction and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The enormous statues of Ramses II on the facade are impressive, as are the reliefs and paintings that adorn its interior, portraying life in ancient Egypt. They have inspired artists and filmmakers over the years, and continue to be a source of fascination and study for historians. Conservation and protection of temples are constant priorities to ensure their preservation for future generations. In short, the Abu Simbel temples are a lasting legacy of the grandeur and skill of ancient Egypt, captivating all who visit them with their splendor and historical significance. Number 3. King Tut's tomb. There are very few archaeological sites that are as important as King Tut's tomb, because the tomb almost single-handedly started a frenzy for Egyptian history and archaeology. King Tut's tomb was discovered in 1922 by excavators led by Howard Carter, and once they discovered it, the entire world wanted to know more. The media attention alone made it one of the most publicized archaeological sites in history, and that would lead to a lot of things happening, including mention of King Tut's curse. Shining pillars and statues associated with the governor's tomb. To be clear, some of the people who found the tomb died shortly after due to other curious circumstances, but the team themselves later admitted that they had made up the whole curse to scare away any tomb raiders who had tried to steal treasures from the tomb. The other irony of this tomb is that, despite the discovery of it, there are a lot of mysteries about King Tut, his reign, his history, his death, and much more that remain unanswered. For example, why was he never properly buried if he was such a beloved pharaoh? There are also some mysteries about who his parents really were and whether or not they had a forbidden relationship. Be that as it may, this tomb is a vital piece of archaeological history and will be treasured for many years. Number 4. The Lost City of Tanis. Tanis, located in the Nile Delta, was one of the most important cities in ancient Egypt during the Third Intermediate Period. However, it fell into oblivion until it was rediscovered in 1939 by the French archaeologist Pierre Montet. The city was filled with archaeological treasures, including temples, palaces, and royal tombs. Among the most notable finds are the royal necropolis, where sarcophagi and funerary objects were discovered, as well as the famous victory stele of Ramses II. The Tanis excavation provided a unique insight into Egyptian history and its connection to other ancient cultures, such as the Phoenician and Greek. Number 5. Hal Saflieni hypogeum. There are a wide variety of structures that archaeologists look for in their research, depending on the civilization in question. Among these structures is the necropolis, a place used to bury the deceased as a way to honor them and keep them close to their loved ones or other members of their species. However, what makes this necropolis especially notable is the fact that it is the only known Neolithic necropolis in all of Europe. This uniqueness makes it a place of great historical and archaeological importance, providing valuable knowledge about the life and funerary practices of that time. This is especially relevant because it was discovered under the island of Malta, located in the Mediterranean Sea a short distance from the island's capital. It is a vast network of underground tunnels that houses numerous compartments. Number 6. The Temple of Edfu. The Temple of Edfu, dedicated to the falcon god Horus, is one of the best preserved temples in Egypt. Built during the Ptolemaic period, this temple impresses with its size and state of preservation. Its walls are decorated with reliefs and hieroglyphics that narrate Egyptian mythology and religious rituals associated with the cult of Horus. The hypostyle hall, with its giant columns and decorated ceilings, is one of the most impressive features of the temple. In addition to its religious importance, the Temple of Edfu is a valuable testimony of the Greek influence on Egyptian art and architecture during the Ptolemaic era. Number 7. The Step Pyramid of Saqqara. It is one of the oldest and most significant structures in the world. Built during the 3rd dynasty of ancient Egypt by the architect Imhotep for Pharaoh Djoser, this pyramid marked a milestone in the evolution of funerary architecture. Its stepped design, made up of 6 superimposed mastabas, represents an advance in pyramid construction. In addition to the pyramid, the Saqqara funerary complex includes numerous mastabas, temples and statues, offering a comprehensive view of ancient Egyptian life and religious beliefs in that early era. The Step Pyramid of Saqqara is an enduring symbol of Egyptian ingenuity. Number 8. The Sisra Well. Located in the Al-Haf region of Saudi Arabia, the Sisra Well takes its name from the Canaanite army that fought against the Jews in an attempt to expel them from Palestine. This particular episode is of significant importance in both the Bible and the Torah, as it recounts a historical confrontation between two ancient peoples. It was built during the Nabatean period more than 2,000 years ago, which demonstrates the incredible age of this well. Like most wells, the Sisra well is a hole dug into sandstone, but this particular one stands out for its super wide oval shape with a depth of 15 meters. This well used to be a vital source of water, although unfortunately it can no longer provide it. However, what makes it even more fascinating is the presence of a staircase carved around the well that allows you to descend to the bottom. In fact, the well has a tunnel almost 3 kilometers long designed especially to supply water to nearby towns. Number 9. The Al-Hijra site in Saudi Arabia. Al-Hijra is an entire city located in the middle of the desert, also known as Hijra. Al-Hijra was first discovered in the 19th century. This archaeological site is located in the Giza Mountains, near the city of Medina, in Saudi Arabia. In reality, it is the most preserved site of the Nabatean civilization, which no longer exists. The city was located on the incense route that crossed the Arabian Peninsula thousands of years ago, which is why many people from different countries made a stop in Al-Hijra. This explains the variety of the city's architecture, fusing Assyrian and Egyptian influences. Texts have been found carved in stone with different ancient languages such as Greek and Latin. The Nabateans were great builders, carving numerous tombs with sculpted facades, mainly from the 1st century BC. These findings help us better understand the Nabatean civilization, with its 111 monumental tombs, 94 of them with decorated facades, and its wells. The site shows the excellent architecture and mastery of hydraulic techniques of the Nabateans. The city and nearby oases were supplied with water through about 130 wells dug into the rock, which had a diameter of up to 7 meters and a depth of up to 20 meters. These provided an abundant source of drinking water. Number 10. Hatshepsut's Temple. The Temple of Hatshepsut, located in Deir el-Bahari, is one of the most impressive monuments of ancient Egypt. Built in honor of Hatshepsut, the only woman to rule as pharaoh in Egypt, this temple is carved into the rock of a cliff, creating a stunning sight. Its stepped terraces, colonnades and reliefs are adorned with scenes from the queen's life and her achievements during her reign. Despite attempts to erase her memory after her death, Hatshepsut's temple remains a lasting testament to her reign and the greatness of Egyptian architecture. Number 11. The Great Sphinx of Giza. The Great Sphinx of Giza is an impressive rock-carved statue depicting a lion with a human head, generally associated with Pharaoh Khufu of the 4th dynasty of ancient Egypt. Located near the pyramids of Giza, it has been the subject of fascination and speculation for centuries. Although it is believed to have been built around 2500 BC, mysteries remain about its exact origin, purpose, and meaning. At almost 20 meters high and more than 70 meters long, the Great Sphinx is one of the largest and oldest statues in the world. Over the years, it has been restored and preserved to protect this iconic symbol of ancient Egyptian splendor. Number 12. The Temple of Karnak. Located in the ancient city of Thebes, today Luxor, it is one of the largest and most spectacular religious complexes in the world. Built over more than 2,000 years by various Egyptian pharaohs, including Ramses II and Thutmose III, the temple consists of a series of shrines, obelisks, statues, and monumental columns. The hypostyle hall, with its 134 giant columns, is one of the most impressive structures in Karnak. This religious site was the most important center of worship during Egypt's New Kingdom and remains an impressive testimony to the power and greatness of Egyptian civilization. Number 13. The City of Amarna. Founded by Pharaoh Akhenaten in the 14th century BC, Amarna was the capital of Egypt for a brief period known as the Amarnian period. This archaeological site is famous for its connection with Akhenaten, who promoted the exclusive cult of the god Aten. Excavations at Amarna have revealed remains of palaces, temples, and dwellings, as well as a large number of artifacts, including statues and inscribed clay tablets. These finds provide a unique insight into life in ancient Egypt during a period of religious and political change. The city of Amarna is a fascinating testament to the brief but influential era of Akhenaten. Number 14. The Map of Madaba. Who doesn't like a good map? We all love having a map at hand, whether to find our way or to discover interesting places. In this case, we are referring to a very special map that was found in the Byzantine Church of St. George in Madaba, Jordan. The Madaba map was a true masterpiece, as it was made in the form of a mosaic and was found on the floor of the church. It not only represented the Holy Land, but also included the city of Jerusalem. Without a doubt, this map had a very important function, since it served to guide pilgrims visiting the Holy Land. It is fascinating to think about the usefulness and historical value of this incredible map. All landscape units are meticulously labeled with explanations in Greek, which at the time was a universal language thanks to the legacy of Alexander the Great. However, throughout history, unfortunately, some pieces of this precious mosaic were lost or even destroyed, sometimes due to disasters such as two fires. The rediscovery of this Madaba map did not occur until the 1880s, and yet extensive research was not devoted to it until more than 10 years later. Given the incredible attention to detail that went into its creation, it would undoubtedly have been an absolute visual spectacle when complete. It is truly unfortunate that we can never contemplate it in all its splendor. Number 15. Barhout's Hole. What if a giant hole served as a prison and door to hell? It might seem like another tale from Greek mythology, but legend has it that an enchanted well is located in the Al-Mara Desert, in the heart of eastern Yemen. The Barhout Well, as it is called, looks like a giant hole on the edge of Yemen. For centuries it was believed that this place was haunted by a genie known as a jinn in Islamic culture. Some people still think that Barhout's well is possessed, poisonous and dangerous. However, thanks to the Oman cave exploration team, we now know that the well is a fertile place with its own ecosystem. The Barhout Well is located on the border between Yemen and Oman, and the team joined forces with the Geological Survey and the Yemen Mineral Resources Board to begin their expedition. 7 cavers went through around hole 30 meters in diameter and discovered an underground cave 112 meters deep and 116 meters wide. The cave was full of waterfalls, stalactites, and stalagmites, and even had precious rock pearls that were formed over thousands of years. Surprisingly, the water from the well turned out to be drinkable. This exploration disproves the myth of the well, although it could be the entrance to the center of the earth as described by Jules Verne, the famous French writer. Number 16. The Black Desert of Jordan. Did you know that in the middle of Jordan there is a black desert called Harad Ash-Sham? This desert, also known as the Black Desert, is a fascinating piece of dark, rocky land. It is located in the northeast of the country, near the borders with Syria and Saudi Arabia. It is a unique volcanic region that has more than 800 volcanoes, which extend across an impressive area of 50,000 square kilometers in the 3 mentioned countries. Its volcanic activity began approximately 30 million years ago, creating a spectacular landscape full of geological history. Furthermore, it should be noted that the last volcanic eruption in this region dates back only to the year 1850 in Syria. It really is an amazing place to explore and learn more about nature and geology. Although the climate is extremely hot and the volcanoes can be threatening, this part of Jordan was occupied and used by people thousands of years ago. That's right, archaeologists have discovered drawings on the rocks in the area that can be compared to the presence of camps, tombs, and shelters. They also found certain rock inscriptions that were written in the Safavid language, an alphabet commonly used by people living in Syria, Jordan, and the Arabian Peninsula in ancient times. Researchers believe that the people living in the area were mostly nomads. Number 17. The mysterious Beehive tombs of Oman. What would happen if you were buried in a beehive? Well, that was something very common in the ancient civilizations of northwest Oman, in the archaeological sites of Bat, Al-Ain, and Al-Qudum. These sites are filled with beehive-shaped structures that rise majestically atop rocky peaks. When observing them, one might be surprised by their impressive size, since some of them can measure up to 20 meters in length. However, these constructions were not simply homes for mysterious giant bees, but rather had a much more peculiar and macabre purpose. They were used as final resting places for human corpses. That's right, these towers are widely believed to be tombs made of sand and bricks. The oldest known beehive tomb so far dates back to 2200 BC. It was built during the Japhet era, an ancient civilization that left a marked mark on the region. Researchers have speculated that these towers could be evidence that the area was the site of Magan, an ancient region that has been mentioned in ancient texts. According to these theories, Magan was a land rich in natural resources and prosperous in activity. Number 18. The Valley of the Nobles. On the western bank of the Nile, near Luxor, lies the Valley of the Nobles, an extensive cemetery that houses the tombs of high officials and members of the elite of ancient Egypt. These tombs, richly decorated with reliefs and paintings, offer a detailed insight into the life and beliefs of the Egyptian nobility. Among the most notable discoveries are the tombs of Mena and Nakht, famous for their colorful scenes of daily life, as well as the tombs of nobles who served the pharaohs during the New Kingdom. Continued exploration of this valley continues to reveal new insights into Egyptian society and culture.